Hey, good Tuesday morning, everybody, and welcome to a beautiful beach here in Southern California. I'm in Surfside, California, as I normally am for the morning briefing. We're sandwiched between Seal Beach and Huntington Beach, and it is absolutely beautiful. What a gorgeous winter day here in Southern California. We've been pounded by rain and hail and snow and so many other types of weather this year that it's just great to see this kind of a day. And on this very beach, this evening, perhaps there'll be Grunion frolicking all over the beach because tonight is the first Grunion run of 2023, and that's exciting stuff. Let me just say this about the Grunion run. Remember, you got to have a California fishing license to do it. If you're under 16, you do not need one. You can't use any other device other than your grimy little hands to apprehend these things, and this is open season, so you're allowed to take 30 Grunion this evening, and it will go on for 4 subsequent nights. It's supposed to start at 9:40, which means I won't be coming down here until 10:40 to take a look. I'll give it a little bit and then report back to you as to whether or not there are any Grunion. One thing about Grunion is they are an outstanding bait. Dave Hansen, you all know Dave. Dave says, "What eats Grunion?" He asks rhetorically. And the answer is everything eats Grunion. So you toss a Grunion out there in the surf and you're likely to have a bite or two. And they're also good to eat. So keep that in mind. If you'd rather just come down and observe them, again, it'll start tonight and then go for another 3 nights. I'll let you know if they show up here in Surfside or not. And remember also, it gets the food chain moving. It gets that food chain headed in the right direction because all of that bait, really that's what it is, comes up on the beach, and right behind it, all kinds of predators. Hey, you know what time it is, and we've got a lot to talk about. It's time for the morning briefing and a cup of delicious, oh my God, that smells good. Cafe, delicious. All right, my friends. Hey, Isaac Rosales. I met Isaac at the PCS show, and he just became a Patreon member. Isaac, it was a pleasure to meet you. I wish you continued success in your business ventures. Call me anytime I can be of service to you. Just keep that in mind, my friend. Absolutely a pleasure, and thank you for being a Patreon member. Remember, for as little as $5 a month, you can become a Patreon member. You want to do that to help us produce more and more content. And you guys who are Patreon members, and gals, I should say, are the heart and soul of Friedman Adventures, and I just want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you. www.patreon.com/Friedman Adventures, only $5 a month, and you can help us bring more and more content to the table. This Saturday morning, we're going to be at Bass Pro Shops in Rancho Cucamonga. I get to see my dear friend Bob Miner, who runs that place. How he does it, I have no idea. I mean, if I were running that store, it would be an absolute mess. There's so much to keep track of, and he does it beautifully. And every single time I go out there, it's like Disneyland for the outdoorsmen. We'll be there from 1 to 2:30 in the afternoon doing 6 separate podcasts. You're going to want to be there. And Joe Russo, who's a dear friend of mine, Joe's going to be there along with a lot of other people at our Friedman Adventures table. You can come over and sign up for Patreon. You can come over and ask a question. You can come and meet all of us. I want to meet you so I can say thank you to each and every one of you. It's going to be a fun day. And Joe also is going to have the Railrod Assist Pipe. You're going to want to check this out. It's going to help you catch more bluefin tuna. I'll guarantee you that. Tonight's a live show, and that's going to be great to see. Jordan Horita and Christian from Daiwa, they're coming over, and we will answer any questions that you might have. So make sure you drop by the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel this evening. We'll start at 6 o'clock, and we are really looking forward to bringing you that show. If you have any questions about Daiwa or anything else, they can answer them for you. We'll be talking fishing, we'll be talking what's going on, and it's going to be great. So make sure you do tune in for that. All right, we talked about the Grunion run. That is just a sign that spring is on the way. I think chronologically, I think we have a few more weeks to go until we nail down the spring, and the spring actually starts. But on a day like this, man, it's gorgeous. I did come out here yesterday. I had about 20 minutes of throwing a chrome crocodile lure And man, I gotta tell you, I never got a bite. I didn't work that hard at it. Normally I put in a good 4 hours when I surf fish, so I didn't get a chance to do that. But I came out here and tossed a jig around, and you know what? I think I'll do it again because it was a lot of fun, man. Even when you don't get a bite, it's just fun walking the beach, looking for signal, looking for sign. One thing I do not see for the second day in a row here is any kind of bird life. I don't see it. And a lot of times pelicans are slamming the water, especially on the morning of a Grunion run, which we'll have tonight. Sometimes, at least I'm surmising that those Grunion are staging out there and the pelicans are exploiting that, but I don't see any of that. So using my logic, probably not going to be any Grunion tonight. And knowing my prediction skills, it's probably going to be littered with Grunion all over here tonight. And I'll be checking it out for each and every one of you. All right, Cabo San Lucas, my friend Sean Morgan is down there. He runs the Wild and Sac. He says there's a little bit of yellowfin and dorado and occasional striped marlin, sierras and roosters on the beach. Yellowtail starting to show in better numbers down there at Cedros Island. They're going to transition into a magnificent season again. I am sure of that. Of course, they caught some halibut, big sea bass this winter time up there around the San Quintin area, some yo-yo iron yellowtail, along with copious amounts of rockfish, and they are catching some halibut also in that neck of the woods. Punta Colonette, we're going to have sport boats out of San Diego running down there and giving it their best to catch some not only rockfish, but hopefully some yo-yo iron yellowtail. We'll keep our eyes on that. Wouldn't be surprised if they bumped into a school of bluefin on the way down. We'll finally start to get some coverage. We do have rain on the horizon Friday. It looks like we're going to get some rain, but I don't know. It looks like a blip on the radar. It looks like we could get some rain off and on here, but it doesn't look like any major storms are headed our way. You can see what a gorgeous day and morning it is here. It's absolutely beautiful. Hey, for you whale watching fans up there off Monterey, they saw a Northern Pacific right whale up in that neck of the woods. There's only 500 of those left, so it is highly endangered, and great for the whale watchers who got in on that, Monterey Bay, California, to have checked that species out. And there still are some whales if you're thinking about jumping on a trip. A lot of those gray whales now are northbound, heading back to the Bering Sea after calving down there in the warm water lagoons of Baja California. But there's also other whales that pass by Southern California on a regular basis. So if you want to get out and do that, it looks like a perfect day for that kind of a thing. All right, up there in Ensenada, we continue to catch rockfish, a little bit of bonita. Hopefully some yellows are going to show up. Hopefully some bluefin tuna. Not too early for something like that to happen. San Diego, all the way up to Marina del Rey, boats are catching sheep's head now. They're picking away at that. The Monte Carlo had some up there in Santa Barbara Sea Landing. They've been catching some. They're focusing their attention until rockfish season opens on April 1st on some wintertime sand and calico bass, which you can catch on structure normally this time of year. As the water temp warms up, they'll start to spawn, and then they'll really start to bite. But right now you need to use fluorocarbon, and I like 40 pound when you're fishing that structure. www.opsonusa.com. Put in FA at checkout. You'll get a love note and a free gift from Greg Brown. Keep that in mind. Still very disappointed that he wasn't handing out the hugs and kisses that I promised you all if you visited his booth at the PCS show. But maybe we can arrange that in the near future. So once again, we are looking at a situation where we're catching a few bass here and there. Fresh dead squid, live squid, that's the best way to get that done. And about a 2-ounce sinker will normally get it done for you, whether it's a torpedo or a lead head or a sliding egg. All those seem to be pretty effective right now. Marina del Rey's had some good bites. Sculpin and whitefish also along the coast here to help provide excellent table fare. Remember, we had Bob Elliott's nice catch of white sea bass just the other day. If I had to guess, I would say Santa Barbara Island, but it just brings up the fact that there has been so much market squid around this year. And we mentioned to you that the Chinese cut off the market. They weren't buying any more squid from the boys here in SoCal. So a lot of guys just didn't run or put the same effort into it because with no market, what's the point? And so that squid has been doing its thing at all the islands this year, from Clemente to Catalina to Santa Barbara Island to Nicholas to the Channel Islands. And I got to believe that sets up for one heck of a spring into summertime white sea bass bite. I'm getting the feeling it's going to be good for Ventura sport fishing and all the guys up there in the Channel Islands. That's been the epicenter of the sea bass bite. We get it to bleed down there a little bit, down for the sport boats at least. Many yachts do pretty well at Cat and Clemente, but I'm getting the feeling that it may be even better and maybe a throwback to the good old days at Catalina. But right now, epicenter has been up there, you know, in the Channel Island area, and I'm thinking that could go off at any point in time. It could be one heck of a start to the season. Then we transition into the offshore and the yellows and everything else. Could be a lot of fun. Bass Pro Shops this Saturday, don't miss it. It's going to be really a lot of fun. We should be set up by 11 a.m. But if you're coming for just the podcast, 1 until 2:30 in the afternoon, and you can meet all the guys behind Friedman Adventures. We want to see you there. We're going to have our cups there. If you become a Patreon member that day, just sign up for Patreon. You'll get your morning briefing cup. And I'll tell you, you get a big handshake and a great deal of thanks from yours truly, as I deeply, deeply appreciate it. All right, Grunion Run, Friedman Adventures live tonight. All kinds of great stuff going on. Can't wait to bring you tonight's show with Jordan and Christian. That's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, we'll be watching the fishing and so much more as we go along. Long Range boys, a lot of them are doing some of the ecology trips right now, but the guys that have been fishing down below have been picking off some yellowfin tuna in the 50 to 90 pound class, a few bigger than that, some shots of wahoo, and then, you know, grouper and stuff like that. All right, we're going to continue to watch it. Hopefully the surf fish are going to respond favorably to all this grunion if it shows up. It is not a slam dunk. As many of you know, have been grunion hunting before. They don't always show up, so we'll see what happens this evening. Take care, my friends, and as always, it is my pleasure to be with you all. Have a great day, and I hope to see you Saturday at Bass Pro Shops. After that, day at the docks in San Diego. After that, the Bart Hall Show in Long Beach at the Long Beach Convention Center. Take care, my friends. See you soon.